Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a look at r/am I overreacting, and then possibly a little bit of r/relationships, because they're just the ones I've got saved and are convenient. I literally got back today from spending time with family, so yeah, I'm basically just taking whatever I've got ready to do a bit of recording. I wasn't going to today, but I'm going to because I can't sleep. So yeah, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, quick disclaimer, any opinions I give on the posts we read are just opinions, not facts, do not need to be taken as such. If you have a different opinion, that is perfectly fine. Do feel free to leave it in the comments below. Just make sure you're keeping it respectful. There is no need to be mean just because you do not agree. With that being said, let's get into it, shall we? You may notice, by the way, that I sound a little off. I have got a bad chest for the 1 millionth time in the last 2 years, I swear. It's because my reflux plays up and then it just affects my chest, so then I start sounding slightly, like, odd. So please excuse that. I sound like I smoke like 50 a day, I feel. I mean, it may not sound like that while recording, but I don't know. But if I do, that's why. Anyway, this first one was posted by Electronic Rip 8108. Am I overreacting because my boyfriend wanted me to change before the gym over a colour? Yesterday my boyfriend and I were about to leave for the gym together. I threw on a blue work top with black shorts, something simple and comfortable that I've worn a bunch of times before with zero issues. Right as we were walking out the door, he stopped and said the colour of the top looked kind of weird and that people were going to stare at me if I wore it. Okay. What is it, like a bikini top or something? I can't imagine why the colour would be such a big thing. He asked me to go change into something more normal before we left. I was kind of caught off guard, honestly. It's just a blue top, nothing flashy, nothing revealing. I actually like how it looked on me and felt comfortable in it, which is kind of the whole point of gym clothes. I don't mind if he has opinions on my outfits every now and then, that's a normal couple thing, but this felt less like hey, I think this colour doesn't suit you, and more like he was worried how other people at the gym would perceive me and wanted me to change based on that. It just didn't sit right with me, or he was worried that people might look at you and not in the way that you think that they'd be judging you, but that they might find you attractive. That's probably the one that I'm more leaning towards right now. I ended up just going along with it because I didn't want to start an argument right before working out, but I've been thinking about it since. Am I overreacting for being annoyed about this? Right, let's have a look because we have a picture of the top. How is that a weird colour? What? What is weird about that? I am baffled. The top is not tight, it's not offensively revealing, although, you know, even that is something where it's like dealer's choice, you know? It depends on the person who is perceiving it on whether you decide it's revealing or not. But yeah, there's literally nothing wrong with it. It's just a blue top. Like, I've seen so many people wearing the same colour every single day. What is so offensive about that? Oh my goodness. Yeah, he sounds like he just wants something to complain about or nitpick about. Either that or he's trying to get the OP to dress as dull as possible so as not to attract any attention because he's insecure. Either way, next time I would not bend to that. I would just be like, well, this is what I'm comfortable wearing and I'm wearing it. So, nah. So down in the comments, Significant Wafer 314 says, I ended up just going along with it because I didn't want to start an argument. Do you do this often in the relationship? That's what I want to know. And then Government Gal says, this is the most insidious aspect of abuse. If you have to change behaviour to avoid another argument, GTFO of that relationship. Exactly. Because these things do spiral. It starts with something very small and something that you think is just silly like this. And the more that you allow someone to get away with telling you what to do, telling you what to wear. Little things like that build up into bigger control aspects. And yeah, it's just something that don't even deal with it. Do not. Okay, then next post, posted by My Feet Hurt and I'm Tired. Same. Am I overreacting? My husband, M26, told me, F23, I need to shave because it's unattractive to him. I just gave birth. Before even reading this, just from the title alone, I have a feeling that this OP is not overreacting with however they reacted to that. Oh my goodness. I'd start plaiting it, you know, just to really piss him off. Put accessories in it, you know, some little butterfly clips like, oh, I made it real pretty for you. There you go. So I should start this off with the start. Well, yes, that's very helpful. And I apologise if this is hard, confusing to read, because I've never used Reddit before. Me and my husband have been together for 3 years and everything was perfect. 9 months ago I got pregnant and it was a shock because I was previously told I might not have kids. For personal reasons I will not say here, and so we did not use protection. Yeah, that's definitely a faux pas. Even if they tell you you can't have kids or they think it's unlikely, if you do not want kids, still use protection, because there are those just flukes that happen, aren't there? And more often than you think as well. If we didn't have kids, well, we could adopt one day. I came to terms with it, and if I had gotten pregnant, we would be so happy. Anyway, when we found out I was pregnant, we were ecstatic, and my family had a barbecue. Oh good, well I'm glad this is something that you did want, you just weren't expecting it at that point. That's good, that's good. Eventually, it came up that I might have a miscarriage, and obviously I cried. My cousin, the one who said it, said that I needed to think about it, and that it might happen. Your cousin sucks! Why would they say that to you? Yes, of course, it's a possibility in any pregnancy, no matter who you are. But you don't need to say it to a pregnant woman who's had fertility issues. And if it did, we shouldn't be shocked. My husband yelled at my cousin and we left. Later, my mother called me and said we were overreacting. I don't really think so. I'm glad your husband stuck up for you. And my cousin wanted to apologise, which was most likely because my mother told her to. Anyway, that was around 9 months ago, so I shouldn't open old cuts, right? I'm struggling to understand what this has to do with a hairy muff, to be quite frank. Like, that's awful, what your cousin said, but how does this pertain to the beaver? During the 9 months, my husband was like every girl's dream. Sure, we argued sometimes, but nothing bad, and it's always something we got over. It was like a Disney movie, if you understand. LOL. Be cautious of those. Be very cautious of those where it seems, oh, flowers and rainbows. Because that's not practical. And that's not life. Like, it always feels a tad performative to me when it's like so overly magnificent and amazing, because no one can be on like that constantly, you know? I was in labour for around 8 hours. It was painful, but when I saw her, when I saw my beautiful baby, I cried so much and it felt so worth it. She was 19 inches and 7 pounds. During the time I was in labour, my husband was either holding my hand, or in the hall because he got sick, or in the bathroom because he was tired. Now, fair enough, to be fair. I do get a bit annoyed when people really slag off dads for like getting ill or like fainting or something, but you've got to understand, they've never done this before, so like when it's their first, they've not done it before. Some people just don't deal well with hospital and medical stuff. Some people don't deal well with like blood and smells, and trust me, there's a whole lot of that. I've done it twice. I can attest to the fact that it is quite graphic, you know, and it's difficult for people who've never had to deal with that sort of stuff before, of course. So I do get like dads getting ill or needing to step out for a moment because they feel like they're going to pass out or passing out, it's very stressful for them to see, you know? I would never underplay that, but going in the bathroom because you're tired, mate, how do you think your wife feels? She's pushing out a whole ass human right now from somewhere that just doesn't feel right. It just does not feel right. Stop being mean. I was in the hospital for 2 days to get monitored, then got discharged, and my husband come and got me. When we got home, my husband was pampering me, and to be honest, I think I just wanted to be left alone. I was sweaty and sore and so tired. I hear that. During the past days, I have been in pain. It hurts to walk, which is usual. It's just cramps, lol. But I'm still cleaning everything up, making dinner, and taking care of the baby while he's, I think, fixing his mother's old shed in her backyard. Yeah, her shed can wait. Come home and do your fatherly duties, man. Today, my husband came home from doing that and saw what I made for dinner. It was pasta with zucchini. He said it looked disgusting, and all he wanted after a hard day was pizza. I told him that he never told me that, and he said it was because I'm so hard to talk to now. He said that I'm always tired and moody. I apologised, then got up and went to our room. Maybe 2 hours later, he came into the room and said that he put our daughter to bed and asked why I was upset. I told him that what he said really hurt my feelings, and he apologised, then said he was frustrated, and I said I understood that, but he shouldn't take it out on me. He apologised and put his hands on my hip, and I smiled at him. He moved his hand to my leg, then said that I felt spiky. Oh, you were talking about legs. I thought you meant somewhere else. I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were talking about somewhere else, because that's usually the gripe, isn't it? The downstairs. And he noticed there's hair in my armpits too. Shock horror, women have body hair. Breaking news at 10. I told him that I'm tired and haven't shaved recently. I didn't think it mattered that much. He told me that by tomorrow he expects me to shave. And that's where I'd say, by tomorrow I expect you to be single. I told him that that's ridiculous, and he said that it's completely rational, and every man thinks women with body hair is ugly. I asked if he thought I was ugly, and he didn't say anything. I told him that I just gave birth and I want to recover. He said that I can. He just expected me to be pretty when I did. I covered myself in the blanket and tried to go to bed as he just huffed upset. He laid next to me and tried to cuddle me, so I got up and now I'm lying on the floor in my daughter's room next to her crib writing this. What the hell, OP? No. First off, why is he fixing his mum's bloody old shed? That can wait. He's just had a kid. 2, expects? The fucking audacity. Absolutely not. Like, what the hell? That is disgusting. And saying that men find it disgusting. Some men might. Not all. Like, some men really don't care. Some men actually would just like be like, oh, you're a bit prickly today, love, and move on with their day. Like, they would not care. They might mention it perhaps if it's not a normal thing, you know, as couples like to do, tease each other or have a bit of a ribbon in good jest. But no, absolutely not. He sounds like he's being an absolute bellend. OP also, I know you've just had a kid, but time to grow a shiny spine, and tell him to fuck off. Because what the hell? No, you do not deserve to be spoken to like that after having had a kid. He's taking the mick. So down in the comments, Careless Ability 748 says, I'd probably get kicked off Reddit if I use words I want to use to describe him. Literally. If my husband told me he expects me to shave, I'd laugh in his face. And then Glittery Bear 4298 says, this effer is 1 week away from demanding sex before she's recovered. Yes, that is exactly what I was thinking too. Exactly, because it's like 6 weeks realistically that you should wait and abstain, because you can get some horrible infections like in your womb, in your cervix, and all the surrounding areas. It is not worth it. They have a hand, don't they? You know? Sort yourself out, mate. And also, how dare you demand I shave my legs if you can't go sort yourself out or cook your own dinner? Like, what the hell? He's not even helping her with dinner and cleaning just days after she gave birth. Piece of shit. So we're moving on to r/relationships for this last one then. This one was posted by Glittering Cell 5399. My boyfriend, 27M, said this to me, 28F, when I was ill. I don't know how to proceed. So, my boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years and I've been ill for the past 3 to 4 days. He has barely remembered that I've been ill and hasn't even asked if I have a fever, if I have eaten, if I need soup, nothing. He's just sending his own game links, food links, news, gossip, etc. for days. So when he called me during his lunch break, I was already upset from the lack of care. I didn't want to bring it up because he often gets defensive and acts like nothing of the sort happened. I had missed lunch and slept for 5 hours, so when he called I was groggy. All he said was, "If you don't want to talk, we can talk another time." I still tried to ask about his day, but he didn't ask how I feel. So the call went silent and I said I'm hanging up, we can talk later. He said bye and left. My love, this man does not care about you. I hate to break it to you, he does not care about you. And it sounds horrible to hear, but it's very true. You've got to look out for the signs. People will tell you the way they see you without telling you. And you deserve way more than that. In the bin. In the bin. Another one in the bin. In the sin bin. The one that's on fire. Then he sent me a text asking what made me so upset. And when I said that I felt uncared for considering I've been ill, I said I was feeling incredibly lonely and haven't felt like he's been there for me. His immediate response was, "I don't know what to do and whether it is as you say." I was stunned. He was literally questioning and invalidating my own experience of being neglected while sick. When I called him out, he tried to turn it around on me, saying he can't get it in his head unless I outright say to him that I feel like shit. He also said he's doing his best and he does care in his own way. He said that if I outright ask him questions about if I should do something because I'm ill, he's been responding, so he obviously doesn't care. What? Is that meant to say obviously does care? That's a bit of a confusing sentence. For example, asking if I should cancel my physiotherapy because I felt feverish. Okay, yeah, that kind of did not make any sense to me. That might be just me though. That might just be my little pea brain. At the end of the day, like, he's clearly one of those people that only really cares about himself and the things that he's interested in. Like, because the only things he seems to want to talk to the OP about is his interests. So, people like that don't particularly make great partners, I must say. I've dated a few. Not fun. I told him I shouldn't have to keep spelling things out for him, even when I'm ill. I shouldn't have to constantly remind him that I'm sick just to get basic human decency. Instead of just apologising, he actually started to try and use semantics, going round and round to debate the medical definition of a cold versus a fever. Don't. I actually get annoyed with this one, okay? First of all, let's finish this sentence. Just to excuse his lack of empathy. Okay, so I get annoyed with this one because cold versus a fever. Well, you get a fever when you've got a cold. You get a temperature of some sort. Like, it might not be the highest temperature. A fever is just a symptom of an illness. I also get annoyed with the cold versus flu. I have a friend that always says they have the flu when they have a cold. And I don't know why, but it annoys me. I'm not one of those annoying people, though, that would sit there and be like, well, actually, you don't have a flu. You only have a cold because you don't have this, this, and this. I'm not going to do that, but internally, I die a little inside every time. I pointed out that he wouldn't do this for his turtle. He's always worried about her and checking if she's fine. I don't know why the fact that it's a turtle just made me laugh. I wasn't laughing at the OP's plight. I was laughing at the fact that it's a turtle, and I don't know why. I feel I may be delirious. I did a lot of traveling today. And then he dropped the ultimate bomb. He actually texted me, because I can see her. I can't see you. I barely remember stuff if I don't see you, so I can barely remember how you are. Now, there is a certain phenomenon, isn't there, in neurodivergent people where, object permanence. If the people aren't there, you kind of forget. You kind of forget to check in with them, forget to check in with friends, family, whoever. Doesn't matter who it is. But obviously, there is nothing here to say that there is any neurodivergence going on. The OP hasn't said that. So we can't just assume that that's exactly what it is. Whereas I think this guy's just a bit selfish because all he ever wants to talk about is his own interests, He also says that he's ready to just not talk today and then we can at least save the breakup for the weekend. Oh my goodness. OP, you deserve far better than this. We didn't text because he said, think whatever you want, and I closed the chat after that. He called me on his way home, but by the time he got home, I couldn't contain it anymore. He said that this is basically how he is. He doesn't remember me at work, and when he can't see me, and he's always been this way. Things blew up even worse. I found old texts from months ago where he was at work and still showed concern, asking if I ate, if I took my temperature, if I need anything. Okay. So I was going to say, well, if this has been a constant thing, then maybe there is something else going on that is beyond his ability to help it. However, no, because this is new. This is new behavior, and he obviously was doing well at checking in before, so no. And then the goalpost changed. He said, in a relationship, there are varying degrees of care. Then it turned into a full-blown argument where I cried and said that I feel like I'm talking to my parents when I'm with him. I'm the scapegoat of the family. Some of these sentences don't quite make sense. I'm gonna assume what they mean to say here is in the literal sense where I cry, show them proof, and they never believe me. But for some reason there's a no there and it wouldn't make sense with a no. It could be me though. It could be me today. And I sat there like a little child saying that someday I'm going to have a good life. I will be happy. And he laughed at me. I couldn't continue the discussion and burnt out and went silent. Then he hung up. I didn't reach out after that, and I don't know where to go from here. I've realised now that this has happened before. I express how I feel, it goes horribly wrong, he shuts down, pulls away, and then returns when he's calm and says, let's talk if you want. But he doesn't address anything. He says that that's how he is, and if I don't want to accept it, I can leave. And then I go back to acting cute and like I'm fine. He'll probably reach out on the weekend as always. I've realised this has been happening for a year now, and I deep down feel something wrong, but I'm also too close to see whether it's me. I know that a stranger asking for advice is pathetic on the internet. No, it's not. I think it's the best way to do it. It's anonymously asking people who are impartial for advice. Yes, it can sometimes, mean that you might get a few arseholes in the comments or contrarians that just want to nitpick with you, as it sounds your partner does. But that's part and parcel of the internet, isn't it? But I think it's a good thing having an impartial place that you can go to for advice, where these people don't know you, they don't have a bias to either side, But it's what we all do, and I have trauma and don't know if I'm genuinely imagining it. P.S. I'm in the process of getting therapy. You're not imagining it. I don't think your boyfriend really cares about anyone else other than himself. And I would move on to greener pastures if it were me. Quite honestly, he doesn't sound like he's doing really much at all for the relationship. It's like the OP is there for him to play with when he wants to. But then any other time he just forgets that she exists. Like, what? The LDR, I've been sick for 4 days and my boyfriend of 2 years completely ignored it. When I confronted him about feeling lonely, he debated the medical definition of a cold to dodge guilt, told me he can't remember how I am when he physically can't see me, and literally laughed at me when I broke down crying. I've realised he's been using the exact cycle of gaslighting and stonewalling for a year to force me into acting cute and staying quiet, but I also don't know if I'm imagining it. Yeah, I did get this sort of the word that popped into my head was fawning when the OP was like, oh yeah, I just go back to acting cute and what have you. It's like I go back to acting cutesy and, nicey to him to make him be nice to me. And no, don't play those games. We fawn for no one, my love. Nobody. We raise hell. So, down in the comments, Pug Mum without Pug says, I'm sorry you're going through this, but girl, it sounds like he broke up with you on Friday. And then Lavender Thief says, for real, he already checked out and you're just catching up. Exactly, I unfortunately feel that's what's going on here, but he's also probably one of those people that doesn't want to be the bad guy, so he wants to wait for her, like pushing her to call it off instead. ABQ Cat says he also seems like the type to make her say the actual words. Yes, exactly. He wants to break up, that is clear, but he might pull the whole, oh, if I'm such a jerk, then I guess you should just end things. Either way, this is fine, OP. Just mercy kill this thing and focus on your health and self going forward. Exactly. Okay then, so I think that's all we've got time for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give it a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that'll be your initiation into the Common Avoid. Welcome. Don't forget to press the hype button and tell Big Al you really don't like him. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you had a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.